This is a genuine professional advice for the literally intelligence world. Those who care to take a little bit of my experience, my super humble experience, especially in research. First of all, we do not ever use the terminology bet. Betting is not accepted in the intelligence world. I bet you that this country is gonna go to war. I bet you that this, fake news agency is misleading us. I bet you that this conflict is, taking us to a whole other region. We do not think that way. In the intelligence world, we do not think that way. You can't do that because it's humans' lives, right? There's something called speculation. Now, speculation is when you have a theory. We do that in research world and any kind of research world and intelligence. The intelligence community must have a research world, right? You can and you should and you better have some kind of speculation. I'm speculating. I have a theory that the current conflict isn't really about the Gaza. No, I have a theory that the current conflict is misleading us, and it's actually targeting a whole other region that nobody's really talking about, that nobody's threatening, that is sitting there all like rich and glamorous and growing and thriving, right? So this is called a theory in what we can process as speculations. Okay, this is step number 1. Step number 2, what do? We start gathering evidence or data. All right. Now, if we're just using internet, just using Google or Google Chrome or Google Scholars or literally Google, if this is just it, if this is all you got in the world, Google and all the press news in the whole world, for whatever reason, without any serious and real and deep intelligence life, right? If you're just a newbie, then that's fine. You can be a good researcher. Then you're gonna do your due diligence and start researching. You're gonna start researching everywhere. Before you put the research down, you need to be putting down why do you speculate that this is a misleading war and it's taking us somewhere else. Give me the reasons. Put down in your own mind, in your own notebook. Put down all the reasons that come out of your mind right away. Even if you have a spiritual or an emotional reason, because in the intelligence world, we do need, to a degree, I understand that men would not consider that, but to a degree, use the spiritual and the emotional intelligence literally to a degree. Okay? If spiritual, because obviously this region does have some kind of faith and some kind of ideology, so you have to put that in mind. We're not analyzing we're not analyzing pure politics here. It's undercover politics. And emotional also, because you want to see how your own self, it depends on who you really stand for, what you really stand for, feel about all this, and put it aside so that you wouldn't be biased, or else whoever's your peer reviewers would notice the bias, and then you go back and forth into clearing that. Once you get all the why you speculate, so you get it on paper, then you take it one by one. All right. My speculation is literally because let's see, the PR campaigns of Saudi Arabia. My speculations are because of the natural reserves of Russia. I don't know. My speculation is because I have so many reasons, and some of the reasons are literally because of members in the intelligence community and the other intelligence community came out and talked about it, and here's what the propaganda is saying, because now we're literally analyzing and observing every and any material that is coming out, whether it's real, it's fake. Guys, we're going through a mass of disinformation, and misinformation. Alright? So much information is out there, and the truth is like in the middle. So you're kind of doing an investigatory work as well. That's why we say there is no such a thing as a bet. I bet you it's because of that. I bet you it's because of that. The brain that thinks of betting is a brain that thinks of gambling. A bet is like a gamble, right? Now, gambling is addictive. Gambling doesn't have analytical reasoning. It doesn't have facts. It doesn't have all you need to make, to prove that your theory is correct. This is sometimes why we haven't noticed that those people are interested in deeply analyzing the little words used in the elections, and they said the bet, the ticket, the bet. The election words are like almost gambling. Now we can do a whole other episode about how they do that later. Not now. I don't care about now because we're in the middle of something that needs to be on the clock, speculating. All right. I wouldn't waste my time with people who have this kind of mentality. I bet you this, I bet you that. No, this is not a professional person. This person is he's just, no, you can't, I'm not going to even try to convince you, because if your brain thinks that way, I bet, no, we're done. I'm going to just save my time and energy to communicate my message with those in the intelligence community, literally, the intelligent and intellectual people, literally, who take by reason, who believe in logic and reason. So after the speculation, we put on why we think, why we have this theory, and then we take it into, research, whether it's investigatory research, whether it's research through, it depends on what kind of intelligence you do. If you're just doing reporting from the media, right? Websites, governmental sites, if you're doing it through news sources, if you're doing it through the professionals who have live streams in certain areas, like for, let's say, independent journalism professionals who have global live streams. Those are sources as well. I mean, sometimes I found literally sources that looked like they're not sources, but they were actually real sources on different platforms on social media that are kind of like undercover sources. So in this journey, you're gathering as much data so that we can then connect the dots. Okay, it looks like there's a pattern of this happened before, and then of course you have to go back to history. You have to go back to, all right, what happened before and what led us to here, and with all the information that we have right now, this might happen. We start creating analysis and then scenarios. So this might happen. We have a situation now. We might get into this situation. We might get into situation A that would look like, end it right there, finish it up, let's clean up and just strike hard, and all of a sudden, in a surprise attack right here, end right here. Or we have a situation that would look like, no, keep going, keep getting everybody involved, keep, draining all the powers around you, and then get this little prize that nobody's talking about, get her involved as well, So that way, and then and we have another scenario where you're not gonna say, you're gonna make sure you put scenarios that you have some kind of control over. We have another scenario, and make sure that the other party is also thinking the same way. They want to make sure they have scenarios where they have some kind of control over, all right? And we have a scenario that goes like this or that or that. You put on different scenarios, like we say it, like 3, 4, 8, 9. No, go wild. Yes, absolutely go wild. Do not shut your brain on, oh no, it might stop here. Oh no, man, I don't think they're hitting this area because no, it's okay. You can go ahead and draw different scenarios. Now, one other thing that helps so much in analysis is reading a lot about the background of things, or the background of people or regions or personnels, or just a background search. Always background search that region. Background search the individual that's supposedly in charge right now. Background search like the personality, the profiling of the individuals who look like they're in charge. Identifying which region you're talking about, whether it's the region where the person who looks like he's in charge, literally in our region, yes, is in charge, or we're talking about a region where a person looks like he's in charge is not in charge 100% completely, and that you will need a lot of interesting readings. So guys, I'm so sorry to tell you that super fast analysis is extremely dangerous. You don't analyze right away. You don't just because I know there is a thrill when you start getting the light bulb comes off in your head. I'll be like, see, I was right. See, my speculation was right. See, my vision was right. See, my analysis were right. See, I know sometimes it would give you an ego, or give you a taste of I want to do it again. I just want to do it again. And then your mission starts getting confused between your own ego of you wanting to feel like you're right on track the whole time, and actually the actual mission, the actual research or the actual investigation, right? Now, guys, again, like Sherlock Holmes, for example, investigatory work does have some kind of pleasure. Everything in life has some kind of pleasure, So you have to protect yourself also from feeling like, oh, okay, I was right. I'm right. I'm the only one who's right. If you feel that way, you're not a professional, and it's personal more than it should be. So try to snap out of it if this happens. Now, one thing though that because I had a really horrible experience with it, that let's say, for example, you're bringing new information to the table. Nobody's believing it. Nobody's heard of it before. Doesn't look like it's gonna happen. But then for some weird reason, you saw it somewhere, you heard it somewhere, or you were abroad and you were actually digging or whatnot. You just see things differently. And the decision makers or the peer reviewers or whoever in the community world doesn't really see what you see. That takes a little bit, and what you see right now could, actually occur 10 years later, literally, or 5 years later, or maybe you studied it in college and it's whatever. In the intelligence community, they would know that you have that background. But to the people, if you're delivering it, if it's part of your mission is also to deliver to the people that, hey, this might happen, guys. It's just, you really need to be patient and try as much as you can to show, keep a file where here's a proof, because there's always a pattern. There's always a pattern. If in a conspiracy or a plot, or now why we're doing what we're doing, or why you should be doing what you should be doing, because let's say somebody's plotting against you, your country, your home nation, your national security, whatnot. You're trying to investigate really fast to figure out that plot so that you can defend yourself, right? That attack, so you can counterattack it, or So in this world, it is, and I'm being very specific right now. In this world, if it has to do literally with national security, humans' lives, you cannot talk, walk, listen, you cannot communicate the word betting in any way, shape, or form. I will be scared of you. I'll be alarmed if you tell me, I bet this will happen. And you're not even fit to be just discussing information with that kind of world. Yes, we can have those highly emotional intelligence. It happens.